Hey guys, Rob from Georgia, aka VHS82 apostrophe here with you, and joining me not too far from the great land of Canada, Glenn, aka BDG Reviews. Along with Will and the Don, they make up the one and only Graveyard podcast as well. Body Bags is in the house, not quite fresh off our 19th Black and White Nights commentaries, rolling on into episode 20 as we look at Mr. Rob Zombie's follow-up to his own nightmarish House of a Thousand Corpses. It is his masterpiece of grindhouse exploitation, road horror film from 2005, simply known as The Devil's Rejects. There's plenty of nastiness here, enough it would have made the early drive-in circuit proud. So wipe the color off your freaking TV sets and settle back for what ought to be one hell of an entertaining evening as we plunge headlong into what really is a Fulcian nightmare dragged out into the cold light of day. What's up, man?
Not much, man. This is going to be a damn fun one.
If you couldn't tell, man, at least I am. I'm not going to speak for Glenn here, but I am a huge fan of Rob Zombie and his work. But I think Glenn is too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a... I might get some hate for saying this. He's a highly underrated director.
Very underrated.
People like to shit on Rob Zombie. It's undeserved. Honestly, I mean... He does a good job. Live with it.
Look, I'm just gonna say this: if I have one nice, glorious 27 by 40 poster on my wall framed, and it is, of course, H2. You know I'm a freaking Rob Zombie fan. H2 as your one and only Rob Zombie poster. But I'm with anyone who recognizes the kind of masterpiece that The Devil's Rejects is. It is not for the squeamish, for sure.
No, not at all.
But it does. I mean, it reminds me so freaking much. We were talking earlier, and it's, as a kid, just going to the drive-ins and just getting glimpses of a lot of that grindhouse exploitation, and I got a little bit of imagery there, memories as a kid, and this is such a loud throwback to a decade that he loves and cherishes so much, and not just by the films he makes, but by the actors that he casts in it.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, a lot of them are from the 70s. I mean, and even in this movie, I mean, there's a few directors like Rob who thankfully is keeping some of these actors employed.
Yeah. And you honestly, between him and Quentin Tarantino, if you were an actor in the 70s, you can still get work.
Yes. Absolutely. Tarantino's, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I think, Rob's one of those guys, he gets a lot of undeserved hate, but I think if you, like if you're born like we are close to it, at least, I was born in 1970, so I have memories, of course, of going to the drive-ins all the time in the 70s, but then of course the 80s are sprung on us, and by then of course I'm more than neck deep in film and just going to see as many horror movies as I could. But you hear Rob talk, and when at least for me personally, he's the only guy I have ever heard who's is talking about his love for old 70s TV shows, and he mentions something like Space 1999 and how he had that toy ship from that TV show. I had that ship. I got it for Christmas one year. And so, I mean, you right there, I just connect, and I think, man, we were, for the most part, we were cut out of the same world. he talks about Evil Knievel, man. I remember I had an Evil Knievel toy. I mean, maybe I put too much on it, but man, he is one of those rarities when I hear him talk, whether it's with Mick Garris or I mean, he did a 2 hour plus epic show with Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of times, you listen to these things and the same stuff is said over and over and over. And rarely do you get something sort of, a new twist, something that wasn't said before. But I mean, so much of what he has to say, I can connect with, and I just freaking, I don't know, man. I just eat it up, man.
Yeah.
Which year? When did you first really start to recognize Rob? Is it a musician or as a filmmaker?
I recognized him back when he was in White Zombie.
Why?
So it's like early musical career, and then he started doing like their videos and everything. And I always noticed, the videos had a certain I don't even know what word I'm looking for. There was a certain, you could tell that the person making these videos was one of us. And let's be honest, with every movie he's done, he's just proved that again and again and again. He is like a fan of like the genres that we're fans of. He has a genuine love for, like horror, exploitation, all that stuff, and it comes across. Whether you like the movies or not, you can't deny that. Because I mean, let's be honest, Rob Zombie's stuff isn't for everyone. I mean, honestly, like his Halloween remake is probably the most what's the word I'm looking for? Like his most studio film of all of them. And
right.
You can see that in how, well, obviously it plot-wise it's stuck very similar to the original. And you can tell that was a studio thing. It was like, keep it there. But all of his other films, you can tell he's just doing what he loves doing. He's working in a genre that he loves. And every one of his movies is a love letter. Like whether that love letter is for you or not that's your own business, but you can't deny it.
It's funny. I do that actually just because I kind of figured that's what it would be, knowing you a little bit. But for me, of course, by that point, I was, as a kid, I mean, I was into music a lot, but by the time Rob came into my life, I was pretty much more just film.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the first time I saw, I don't know if it was a TV spot, it was an early teaser for House of a Thousand Corpses, and then suddenly it was shelved. But there was a teaser for it that got released. I can't remember where I saw it exactly, but I saw it somewhere. And all I remember is thinking to myself, holy freaking crap, what is this?
Was it the Universal teaser?
I think so.
There were like people like digging up like mass graves sort of thing, and yeah, I saw that too. I saw that in the theater.
Let me tell you something. That teaser, and this doesn't happen to me often. I had nightmares from that teaser.
Wow.
My imagination was, and I'm older than, of course, but I mean, my imagination got lit when it's almost kind of like, and I'm just gonna say, I don't care, love-hate relationship, whatever. I'll tell you a funny story. When Halloween, when the trailer was going to be dropped for his Halloween, I don't know if you remember, you probably remember this. They made a big deal that it was going to, be at 12:01 a.m. it was going to drop
Hmm.
online.
Yeah, I remember that.
Back in those days, I can't remember all the fancy lingo that goes with this, but you could basically trick your computer by setting the time, the was
Yeah.
making it think that it was actually that it was a time that it wasn't actually.
Hmm.
And so, I remember tricking my computer, and actually about an hour earlier, I saw the trailer drop, and I saw it, and I'm telling you, when the first time I saw the Halloween trailer, I'm telling you, I thought to myself, my God, this is going to be one of the greatest remakes ever.
Hmm.
It really, for me personally, it really did not disappoint. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, same here.
And
Honestly, I mean,
and when you really listen to him talk, when you listen to him talk about, how he pitched that first idea to the Weinsteins, it's a shame that he didn't get what he was looking for with that by doing two separate films.
mhm.
And basically they forced him to cram the two ideas together and just do one film. And so that is exactly why Halloween feels like two separate films, because it really inherently is two separate films.
Yeah,
Um, and so, I mean, I think, it's too bad that we were sort of robbed of it, because, I think it could have been pretty epic if all we had was like a two hour whatever of just young Michael, and we catch up with him. He's older, he's in the asylum, and then like at the very end of the movie he breaks out, and that's the end of the movie. And then 1 year later, Halloween again, we're getting something that's more closer to John Carpenter's original.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I would have loved that. Honestly, I always remember thinking, the scene when he goes back to his house and like he pulls up the floorboard and he pulls out his mask.
Yes.
I always thought that is where the movie should have ended. And then, you know, the next movie should have been the remake of Halloween. I just think that would have been such a cool visual to have ended on. Him just pulling out the mask, and then it just cuts to black, and the credits start rolling.
Yeah, that could have been cool, man. No matter how you cut it, man, it's the fact he didn't get it is a real is a real shame, because as much as I appreciate H2,
Hmm.
um, if we get those two films separately the way he envisioned it, H2 suddenly becomes a third film, and whether we actually would have gotten a third film, who knows? And if we did get a third film, it probably would not have been anything, like what we eventually got in H2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows? But I mean, I think, um, one of the reasons why I really appreciate Rob is there are influences in there, and I do think one of them is I really do think one of them is Lucio Fulci. I think you can see Fulci's imprint. You see Fulci's imprint on Tarantino on The Hateful Eight. You can see with
Hmm.
the westerns that he's done. You can see, we talked about House of a Thousand Corpses earlier. When you descend into Doctor Satan's, into the cavern there, that underground layer,
Yep.
it's definitely I feel like it's a throwback a little bit to City of the Living um, Dead. H2, some of the nightmare logic, I think is Fulcian.
Oh, definitely. I think so.
But I mean, and then just coming out of the '70s and being impacted, and just being an artist, man, being a musician, and filmmaker, not having gone to film school and perhaps being corrupted, but
Yeah.
just finding his way and being able to the whole story, with how he fell into Universal and actually got to do House of a Thousand Corpses, is a pretty amazing. Um, Almost as good, actually, almost as good as Steven Spielberg's story of how he's just sort of snuck his way onto the studio backline, and then sort of conned his way full-time job. I mean, how Rob ends up, just basically getting anything he wanted to make, House of a Thousand Corpses, is it a pretty amazing thing when you consider where he came from.
Yeah, very true.
And but we did a lot of talking before this. We are looking at, of course, at the Devil's Rejects, and we are, of course, looking at it in black and white. And I think there's a lot of things that can. This is our 20th black and white viewing, and I think we're looking at a movie that is really. We've said this before, but I think this really has certain qualities and attributes that I think we're going to see really does lend itself to black and white.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, just looking at the menu alone, is just awesome.
Plus, it's Rob went back to 16 millimeter for this film, which is freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine if he would have thought far enough ahead to film House of a Thousand Corpses in 16 millimeter?
Oh, that would have been cool. It would have worked so well.
And this is, as he said, I mean, this is his Western that he, well, like John Carpenter. I mean, whenever he's asked, what he wishes he could have done, he always says a Western. He would have loved to do, maybe John more than Rob, but John was heavily influenced by the spaghetti westerns and just John Wayne. But one of the cool things about this movie is William Forsythe's character, how influenced he was by John Wayne in his character, which I think is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
And as I guess maybe I'll share this real quick and we can go ahead and just kind of get into it. But I was looking at something with William Forsythe on one of those Q&As, and he mentioned how when he went to meet Rob for his first real meeting on this, being cast for this role in this film, where he met him at, the building, outside of the building where Rob's office was high up inside, I guess. He was crossing over the courtyard, about to hit the main steps to lead up the building, and he was William was just in awe of this apparently this huge statue of John Wayne on a horse. And he had already been thinking, with the script and everything, he had already been thinking that this is a character that really lends itself to John Wayne's, a lot of his characters from earlier films. And he's so struck by the irony of this, I guess, that he called Rob from down there and said, "Hey man, I'm here." And Rob's like, "All right, come on, get up here." And he said, "No, you got to come down here." And he said apparently there was a pause, and sort of like he could just imagine Rob staring off like, "Why am I walking all the way down there?" But he did. He came down and met him, and he and William kind of pointed up at the John Wayne and just said, "There it is, man. That's Sheriff Wydell, man." And so most of their early conversation around that character, took place right there at the foot of this John Wayne statue. I thought that was freaking cool.
That is cool.
I have to freaking say, man, I'm his character is Sheriff Waddell, as flawed as he ends up being in this movie. The opening, it is funny, chapter selection. The first one is Search and Destroy.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be one of the freaking greatest openings of just such a throwback to these old, whether it's the old westerns or, I mean, the good guys are on the scene, and they're about to take down the bad guys, and this is,
oh yeah,
God, it doesn't get any better for me. I mean, the opening of this movie and the closing of this movie, the two songs that he uses, both Midnight Rider and of course everyone knows, Freebird.
Oh yeah.
But even sprinkled out through the songs he utilizes to help push the narrative is
They
great.
always work.
Yeah, they always work, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know why I just thought about it, but in Halloween when you first when you at the breakfast table, I think it's oh crap, Baby I Love Your Way.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
I can't remember it.
uh, yeah, but I mean no, I mean, or crap, even in the same movie, his use of Nazareth,
Oh, Love Hurts. Yeah.
yes, that
That's
is.
that's one of those ones people complain about a bit because it's kind of cheesy, but it works. It works perfectly.
I don't think it's cheesy at all because it gets right at the heart of his character. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you know, yeah. So I mean, not to get too far off on that, but I mean,
Yeah.
his use, even Tom Sawyer, crap, man. I mean,
Oh
when
yeah.
Tom Sawyer kicks in, and if you really listen to the lyrics,
Oh yeah.
it
Yeah.
it helps drive the narrative. I mean,
Oh yeah.
um, I mean,
Hell, God of
that's
Thunder when you first see Michael.
oh yes,
That was
yes,
awesome.
and even just the title that I
Yeah.
mean, a little so foreshadowing there, God of Thunder.
Yeah.
It's such, I mean, Rob is
He knows what he's doing, especially with music and everything. He knows exactly what certain songs are going to evoke in a movie. He just gets it.
and maybe it's just certain. I mean, maybe it helps, when you're coming at it from the angle like we do. Maybe it helps. Um,
Mhm.
I'm not sure, but I like I said, I mean, every time I hear him talk about, I mean, sometimes sometimes my son's asked me, if you could, of all the movie directors that you love, all the movies and everything else, who would you like to just, if you could just have lunch with anyone, who would you do it? Who would you have lunch with? And it's got to be Rob Zombie.
Oh
I
yeah.
think it
I
could be,
mean, that would be so interesting.
and it would be down to earth.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And I mean, let's be honest. Also, you wouldn't meet him for lunch and like have like some high class meal or whatever. You'd go out for like burgers or something.
And you just talk crap, man. It would just be. I think the first
Definitely.
thing I mentioned was I had that Space 1999 toy too.
Yeah. Damn cool.
I think he was actually. Oh, I can't remember what year he was born. I do know Sherry though was born in 1970, which I thought was always cool since we share the same birth year. Probably why I feel like I'm so connected to her too.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Any thoughts before we start?
No, I'm good to start if you are. So,
All right, ladies and gents, Rob Zombie's The Devil's Rejects.
oh yeah.
Black and white.
All right. You want to count us down, or should I? Or
Ready?
yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
And honestly, that Lionsgate logo looks good in black and white.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, this just the whole opening to this movie is great, and I love the fact. Well, obviously we'll see it when we get to it, but uh, it's sort of how can I describe it? It goes along. I can't remember his name. There was some serial killer in Australia that had like a metal suit that he made out of like iron or whatever. And I love the fact that they get the same thing in this, where they put on like all the essentially metal armor during the
Huh.
shootout. What's his name? I dig this too. Just the text.
Yeah. Well, it
Yeah,
kind of has almost a grindhouse sort of a lens of way of revisiting Texas Chainsaw.
yeah,
That opening, monologue thing that we get.
yeah. Ned Kelly.
Huh.
That's who it was. Yeah. He was bushranger, outlaw, gang leader, and convicted police murderer in Australia. And he had like this suit made of iron,
Wow.
so that the bullets couldn't hit him. And I love that they kind of go with that in this. This is something also, the fact when we see Tiny here, it just really kind of shows how big of a dude he was.
Yeah, I was reminded revisiting this the other day, listening to Rob's commentary. In the closing credits, it's of course this movie is dedicated to him in loving memory.
Yeah.
It's rough, man. This you already know we're for a rough trip, boy.
Yeah. You got to give your props to that actress as well. I mean, she's being drug on grass and everything, like completely naked. That's got to be ripping up her back.
Yeah, Rob does speak to that in the commentary, and that was, boy, just getting the right girl that would actually do that. I mean,
Yeah. And I just love the fact that Tiny is out disposing of a body is the reason why essentially he doesn't get killed at this point.
it's so weird too because he just sort of you don't really think about it, but he just wanders, man, until the
Yeah.
end of the movie when he makes his reappearance. I mean, he's just
Oh yeah.
hiding somewhere. This is so freaking awesome, man.
That looks so good in black and white.
Talked about this too. This does take place a few months after, and you can tell. I mean, just this is not the house we saw in House of a Thousand Corpses. This is a much more rundown. Although the cattle here is kind of weird. I was thinking about that too.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like why all of a sudden do they have cattle?
why are they feeding it? I mean, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, maybe they're feeding them the people.
But for a movie that I mean takes place essentially a few months after the of the first, it does of course beg the question, why it took so long to, you know, figure out the
Yeah,
missing police and um, the dad of the one girl that was
yeah,
missing in the first film, which was the guy who played Ryan in Saving Private Ryan, which is it was pretty cool.
yeah. I just love that nobody in the house hears all these cops drive up.
And that is the most frustrating thing, man. I mean, if there's frustrating things about this movie. It's this movie could have just ended like here. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they could have just stormed this house and killed them all.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Rob says, well, that's just not what he's after, and that's part of his downfall. Is he's so geared up to make this family, you know, pay.
Mm-hmm.
If he would just settle for he's got opportunity after opportunity to just kill.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, if he settled for justice as opposed to vengeance,
He would have won.
yeah.
This is great though, man. I mean, this is cinema, man. I mean,
Oh yeah, and in black and white. Oh man, it's gorgeous. Though honestly, I probably
just to do.
seeing Otis in his underwear in black and white wasn't really necessary, but
He wanted to do it nude.
Well, I'm glad he didn't. Honestly.
Could you imagine that?
I just love like the arsenal that they have.
Oh, this is unreal in black and white. Holy freaking crap, man.
Yeah.
This is God, look at him, man. He is like Weidell's like that forgotten myth, man, of just old Law and Order, old justice.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, they'll never see each other again in this movie.
Yeah.
God, I love this man. He has
Here
no
we go with the whole Ned Kelly bit,
he has no fear.
Nope.
That's what's missing in so many movies today. Is just these innate qualities of
Mm.
two boys on. Holy crap.
In theory, they could have just kind of gone out the back door, couldn't they?
Well, they have that underground tunnel
Yeah.
that Otis and Baby will actually use.
I mean, when all's said and done, I mean, he's so caught up in his lust for revenge, I don't think there's anyone around the back of the house, is there? Hmm. And like,
Oh, look at this. Here we go. He realizes I'm good,
yeah,
and it just goes right in.
yeah,
You know what? It sort of reminds me. It sort of reminds me when the dog kennel scene when McCready just kind of just very confidently just walks right in front, man.
yeah. I always thought, wouldn't it have been great if they, grabbed the tear gas and threw it out so that it hit all of the cops? Oh wow, the grain structure in this picture right now in black and white looks awesome.
Yeah, it's way more evident in black and white than it is in color.
Mm.
This movie is so removed from just the hallucinatory sort of uh, very very colorful imagery of the first film.
Yeah.
I mean, even without, I mean, even in color, when you're watching it in color in 16 millimeter, it just has that really grimy sort of grainy, whatever is right.
Yeah. And seriously, that armor that the guy's wearing is like an exact duplicate of like Ned Kelly's armor. It 100%. It has to have been a conscious choice.
It's great. You know what really makes this work is, on the one side, you already know this is a family. This is a family you don't mess with.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, here's a sheriff you don't mess with.
Yeah.
And they equal each other out really, really good, at least until, Rob does such a masterful job of toying with our loyalties and who we, who we seem to
Oh
like.
yeah. Because that is the thing, really, you should be rooting for Wydell, but you don't.
This is great, man. This is great.
Mm. Oh, I love the freeze frame.
Freaking Midnight Rider could not have picked a more perfect song.
Yeah. And I love that they just have like, a whole like cages full of people down there.
You know, they were never the same after this, man.
Oh, hell no. I would just like to see the story of the people that got out of there, and if some of them ended up becoming just as twisted as the Firefly Clan. Like, they were just so broken as people. And of course, our boy Ken Faree.
I was gonna say, man, the list of credits here is so freaking awesome.
Mm.
I love freaking. I know what you're saying. Oh, this scene just right here, just watching him go through the. Leslie Easterbrook. So you know, I told you I was revisiting this the other night with the commentary on,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife was down here, and she was kind of doing some data entry stuff in her um, laptop over in her section of the basement down here,
Mm-hmm.
and so she really wasn't watching this, but she was getting up ready to walk out. She it was the scene when Wydell is going to have his way with Mother Firefly,
Mm-hmm.
and so funny. My wife's like, "That's Leslie Easterbrook. Crap! I didn't know she was in this." And I'm like, "Where do you know her from?" Of course, you know what she said.
Why?
Police Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Wayne Toth, man. Wayne Toth, Tyler Bates, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what cracks me up? That Wayne Toth, just thinking that he got his start in with Halloween 4.
Yeah. Yeah. It all kind of comes full circle, doesn't it?
Phil Parment's cinematography is freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So freaking awesome. Just the angles and the shots, and man.
And I love the fact that, like, she had a name tag, and you can actually see the name. So this character was named Abby. I mean, this is a character that would have been, that's just a throwaway character essentially, but they thought to put like the name tag on and everything. It's attention to detail like that that marks a good filmmaker.
This is good stuff right here, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, I get what you're saying, but I love Sheriff Whitehall, man. I it's tragic because I want his character to be more. I want his character to really embellish much of that awesome freaking speech he gives to the
Mm-hmm.
three later on.
Yeah.
Um, and it's unfortunate he has his flaws get the better of
Yeah.
him. He's somebody, you're right though. He's somebody you want to root for so freaking bad because he's like a freaking throwback, man. To we said John Wayne to those early
Mm-hmm.
guys who were so pure, so good,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, yeah, he just he can't um, the loss of his brothers too much.
Yep. And here we go, good old Sid Haig.
Yeah, it's funny. This is probably a perfect moment to remind people if they didn't know, Roger Ebert actually gave this movie a really good review.
Which is really funny when you think about it,
Well,
considering how he usually reviewed horror films.
yeah, but there's so much. I think there's a lot to be said with having the ability, the wherewithal to look beyond the surface level things, whether it's the what you might consider the gratuitous violence, even sex, or
Mm-hmm.
so much going on in this movie. There's so much being said, and
Mm-hmm.
proof of that, if you needed it, is I think Roger Ebert giving it a really good. And I think even in his own review, he says he's going to probably get lambasted for daring to give it a good review.
Yeah. I love that I calls him like I sees him.
This looks so great in black and white, man. I think I don't know. This may be the best one yet.
Yeah. Hmm.
I love how he gets so serious.
Yeah.
Wake up to reality, buddy.
Yep. Hmm. Yeah, 50-50. That was good. Honestly, man, Captain Spaulding is like, he's just awesome.
remember, you remember just how intimidated um oh, crap, what's his name from The Office there that's in House of Thousand Corpses?
Yeah, I know what
Uh,
you mean. Again,
yeah,
can't remember the name.
there's a few moments where you could tell you could tell Sid just got the better of him, man. Just intimidated the freaking crap out of him.
Oh yeah.
He's rough, man. I'm telling you what. I don't. I'm sure
Hmm.
he's the nicest guy in the world, but man,
Hmm. Hmm.
oh, the stuff on the TV looks even better.
Yeah. Hmm. 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 Poopy, what do you need a gun for?
Guy's on a freaking mission, man.
Oh yeah.
I do, I do love it how far Rob allows his character to go, though.
Yeah.
He is able to at least have a sense of, he's accomplished his mission in the sense of at least, how far he's allowed to go with it before.
Hmm.
But it's so frustrating to think how quickly he could have ended it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this looks so much better in black and white.
It really does, man.
Because this place just aesthetically sort of comes across a little bit awkward in color, but in black and white, it's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I like Michael Berryman, man.
Yeah. He's awesome in whatever you put him in.
And you know that makes so much sense because I mean Rob says it takes place in 1978, and so Star Wars is already very
Yeah.
quickly becoming a phenomenon.
Yeah. Wong's Hong Kong Gardens. Hmm. I love that.
You want to just go ahead and just tease a little Han and Lando right there
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
for now. Yeah, somebody listening going, what?
Oh yeah. Well,
See, this is what I was talking about. Just the landscape, man, and it looks so. Almost reminds you of that old movie from the '50s, Them.
oh, 100%. I love that movie, and yeah, I'm definitely getting those vibes.
This is yeah, this is man, holy crap! I can't get over this.
Yeah. Banjo and Sullivan.
Hot Type Baby though is such a freaking devilish character. I mean,
Yeah.
can seduce anyone anytime. I mean,
Hmm.
this old guy wrapped around her finger.
Oh yeah.
That poor guy in Three from Hell, the soda machine.
Oh yeah.
The moral of that story, man, if it seems like it's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true.
Yep. You want going this way, you want going that way. It's kind of amazing. You know that you're getting Johnny Cash once.
That I think he said that whole Johnny Cash stuff sort of came up in when they were rehearsing, and it just sort of found its way into the. Gotta love that with Robin, how he lets things just evolve and just.
Mhm.
It's so far removed from that first movie. It's amazing.
Yeah. That's why I almost say it's almost like an alternate timeline, if you will. Like, like this is the more like realistic like set of events, if you will, as opposed to the almost like nightmare logic and everything of House. I just love that he's wearing a Cheap Trick shirt.
Yeah, it's like going from it's like one of Fulci's more nightmare logic films into Wes Craven's Last House on the Left.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's almost as if like if you hadn't had the Firefly clan in this and you had like a bunch of different characters, it would have still been just as good a movie. Like I don't know, man. It's just so kind of awesome.
I love this right here. I love this when he's like, I could have been doing that gig back, and he just blows him off like, yeah.
Like, yeah, sure you can.
It's almost kind of tragic that he's the first one that gets killed.
Yeah. I find it funny though that he had like a wallet chain. Did people have wallet chains back in the 70s?
Oh. Oh God, here's where you should be running the other way.
Yeah.
Look at her though, man. She is so freaking beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
This Rob mentions this one of his favorite scenes right here. Just the way you know, the sun, the light captures. It's just almost perfect.
Mm-hmm. I do the lead singing for a band with. Oh, well. I love famous people.
He's just it, man.
Like, would you say that again? It's like, and he's so like taken aback with it.
And that is the it's incredible part of this movie is just going for a moment like that right into sheer insanity.
Yep.
And with this poor girl in the shower too. There's just the way Otis just freaking barges in and grabs her.
Yeah.
And this guy, man, just how he's such a freaking badass right here, but he just crumbles instantly
Yeah.
the minute freaking crap gets real.
Hmm. My wife's in that room. Hmm. I just love that. Or is my brother gonna have to shoot you in the fucking head? See, I always wondered, like, do you suppose they actually are brother and sister? Or is it just, like, you know, because I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not related to Captain Spaulding.
Yeah, that's interesting, huh?
Like, I wonder honestly, like, is Baby even actually related to Captain Spaulding, or are they just a bunch of like psychos that all got together? Yeah.
I love where the camera's placed for that
Oh
entrance.
yeah. It's like, look at that jacket. Love how they get. It's how she gets so distracted by things.
Oh,
It's Roy. Open up. It's like, oh shit. Hey, Cree, smoke jerky.
he still has no clue how bad things are going to get.
No. Oh man, you see how Otis looked there in black and white? That was gorgeous. Roy's in here. Oh, I get in there.
Oh, oh, oh yeah, it just got real.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like now they finally get what they're dealing with.
This is that there, man. What was picture perfect, just grindhouse exploitation, the 1970s driving. I mean,
Mm.
some of those movies were rough, man.
Oh yeah. This is perfect Captain Spaulding right here.
What is this, PJ Souls?
I think so, yeah.
It's like,
Just walk. Hey, look, a clown. Like, what? Oh, hi. Top secret clown business. Any plan you might have for this vehicle? Did I stutter? Never turn your back on a clown. That's good. Don't you like clowns? So twisted. It's awesome.
Talk about being emotionally scarred for the rest of their life.
Oh, yeah.
I guess apparently, though, to the best of Sid's effort, he could not freak that kid out. The kid just wasn't bothered.
That's kind of wild.
It is. Here, we were talking about this not that long ago.
Yeah.
He's mesmerized even now.
Yeah. No. That's just great. Oh, man. Brilliant Mark Twain shirt. Oh, man.
That's rough.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do? There's nothing you can do.
No? It's the way babies just like watching everyone to see their reactions and everything.
You know, it's like you wonder if some of his him just thinking how quickly he allowed himself to just be enraptured 5 minutes ago
Yeah.
outside, and now he's here.
Yeah.
Contrast of just scenes.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
I'll say this, in Three from Hell, when you're
Mhm.
in the house and all that crazy crap's going on,
Mhm.
it never does. The tension never reaches the point it does here.
No, no, it doesn't.
And it could have. I mean, this is just, man.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that looks like something right out of like a 50s flick right there.
Yeah, is this? Oh no, okay. I wasn't sure if it was. Okay. The
Hmm.
I love this scene with the film critic.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I just
So
love it. Like everything is going fine, and then he mentions Elvis, and it just you see the moment where
now we forgot to mention earlier when we're seeing the aftermath at the ranch there.
Mhm.
Uh, Rob points out in the commentary that that Dr. Satan technically has been put into the ambulance, and even though his character was removed from the story,
Mhm.
his imprint is still seen and felt in this movie. And here is Rob points out that you got this deputy standing off to the side in a white t-shirt, and you'll see him put his stuff down um, in a few minutes, and when he does, you just see his shirt is covered in blood, and that is actually the aftermath from the deleted scene now with Dr. Satan in the hospital when he slashes up that nurse's throat.
Yeah.
um, but even though that scene was taken out, it's just assumed it could have come from the aftermath of the shootout.
Mhm.
But it's so I mean, even it's weird. What do you think about Dr. Satan being sort of just taken out of here? I mean, do you think it was a good choice?
I think it makes sense for the way this movie is. As how can I put it? It would have changed the movie too much to have him in it.
See, I wonder though. I guess I need to go back and look at all the deleted scenes, but it just makes you wonder how much he his part actually was written into this story, because if all you have is that scene with him in the hospital, I mean, I'm
Hmm.
not sure how much it really detracts. Unless his character was written more into the story.
Hmm.
Kind of weird to think that he played such a large part of that third act in that first film, and then just to sort of not see him at all. It does lead to what you have said, though. It does feel like kind of an alternative timeline or something.
Yeah. Like almost like this is like a world that exists where there's no Dr. Satan. They're just like a crazy family. Whereas, the house timeline, if you will, they got the whole Dr. Satan thing going on as well. I don't know.
Is how long it takes them to pull him off her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see this? Did you notice that?
What?
When she just waved her arms up, it was clear that the handcuffs weren't on her.
Oh.
They are now. Yeah, that's funny.
Hmm.
Boy, she does a freaking awesome job, though.
Oh yeah. And again, the freeze frame. Love it.
Well, you got it. Yes, and the music right here. This is so freaking perfect.
Oh yeah. Look how good that looks in black and white, man.
And he said they stumbled upon this. It just like completely accidental. And when they did, he just realized this was too perfect to pass up.
Oh yeah.
I love how he's just like, oh, really? Like what was going on in his head? Like, are you just saying that to make me happy? Yeah, some crazy looking crap, man.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine how hot it is right now? Right there,
Oh
just yeah.
yeah, it's got to be scorching. And in black and white, it really shows off that like hot feeling.
Man, you see that? So you know they've been there before.
Oh yeah.
See that? Yeah. No, I always thought that about Toby Hooper's Eaten Alive.
Mm-hmm.
That character, he always came across to me as some sort of lost relative to the Sawyer clan.
Yeah, I see that. Hmm. Could believe some
Awesome.
friendship.
He's so freaking
Hmm.
just down the road here. Did you like it when you puked?
Oh.
This is great. God, you can see the heat.
Yeah.
See how are you not able to capitalize on this? You have him. You just don't stop.
Yeah, exactly. It's something I've always said in horror movies. If you have the killer down, you keep beating until there's nothing left but meat sauce.
He should have just freaking put it over. He should have just cracked him over the head.
Yeah. I love the fact he made him shoot him.
Yeah,
You
and
know, I mean, that just adds insult to injury, and it's great.
here's something too. Rob mentions that they incorporated a bit of CGI here and there just to emphasize some of the blood and
Hmm.
retractable knives and stuff like that. It's nice. I think the black and white really sort of evens that stuff out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all you've done is piss this guy off.
Oh yeah. And here we got one of the greatest, you know, like just scenes in film history. Look at that hair blown in front of his face.
Okay, I was gonna take it easy on you.
Yeah. This is such a great scene.
So far out of his mind.
Oh yeah. I just love how the hair is blown in front of his face. And the famous quote.
Yeah, it's funny how so much of this is actually off screen.
Yeah.
You
You
don't
just
re-
kind of see the aftermath, and it's. I mean, the thing is, we shouldn't really be surprised that he took his face and wore it, because I mean, it's not the first time he's done it.
I'll tell you. I was thinking. I don't know what I thought popped in my head, but you know what? The scene in Texas Chainsaw 2,
Mhm.
where you have that face peeling.
Yeah.
That's pretty. That's an in spite of the comicness of that movie. That is a
Mhm.
really unnerving scene.
Oh, it is
I
very
don't
brutal
know if
scene.
that would, I don't know if that would have worked in this though. I'm almost glad you didn't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the definition of a love tap right there.
It's funny. It's funny listening to Rob talk about how these the these guys had such a hard time filming this hotel scene, or
Yeah.
motel scene. Even um, Sherry just had a really really hard time.
Mhm.
You never see it. So into character. There's a little bit of CGI here. I think it actually looks a lot better here in black and white.
Oh yeah.
Looks a lot better, actually. A lot better. She's so nuts, man.
Yeah.
Never even had a chance.
Nope.
Gotta love this freaking score from Tyler Bates, man.
Oh yeah.
And some of this too, man. Some of this will be in Halloween.
Yep.
Like some of this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at the background. Holy crap. Of all the people to run into.
And again, freeze frame. I love it.
Oh, here we go. Film critic time.
Oh yeah.
Funny, William was saying he had a lot of input with his defense of Elvis,
Mm-hmm.
which just works so beautiful.
You go get that film critic over here.
You know what's funny? He's William Forsythe plays this guy. It just begs, man, just to know more about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the close-ups, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that what? Gotta eat.
Got a little foreshadow there, man. Knowing he's a hunter and stuff, and how he's gonna hunt down baby later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's like, what do I do with all this bullshit? What do I do with it? See, apparently that guy had no idea that outburst was coming. It wasn't written in the script. And Rob just said, go ahead, roll with it. And he just unloaded.
That's awesome.
Man. But he carried it good.
Yeah, really did. Bela Lugosi. Heidi.
Love it.
Yeah, and Captain Spaulding's just like, dude, like, come on, let's just get out of here.
It's nuts, man. Rob talked about that too. There's like a power struggle between those two.
Yeah.
Leadership of the family. And they kind of go back and forth, back and forth. This poor girl.
Yeah. I mean, damn, like, you better get, like, hazard pay after this.
Oh, I think in the mirror you could see it was written F. Wydell.
Ah. Well, I believe it. Yep.
Playing off on the whole, news media running with the whole Devil's Rejects.
This scene is great.
It is. It is. It is easily the most shocking. Oh my gosh. This is so much more intense in black and white.
It really is.
Holy freak! Now that it has Texas Chainsaw all over it, man.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Oh, and just meat sauce on the road.
Oh,
Man, it's almost like the black and white makes it like worse.
it does. It does. It's like, well, okay. So my wife was back down here for a little bit, and
Mhm.
so she's doing her thing, not really watching, but she hears Rob talking,
Mm.
and she turned to look at this scene, and she's like, she made the comment. So funny. She made the comment. She's like, "Do people really look like that when they've been hit?" And I'm telling you, it was like almost instant. Rob says how they were looking at real photographs of accidents of people hit by trucks and stuff. And I was like, oh man, the minute I heard him say that, man, just my stomach turned. But it's funny because he says the same. Remember in H2 when they hit the cow on the road?
Yep.
In the
Yep.
commentary, remember he says that he had friends that had a story like that where they hit a cow in the middle of the road, just in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he took a lot of flack because people complain. This is a real good scene here.
Mm.
This scene right here is probably you see Sheriff Odell at his absolute best.
Mm-hmm.
As far as a good person. Watch his tear, man. Watch his tear. Oh.
Danny Trejo looks great in black and white.
Yeah, it does.
And Diamond Dallas Page.
They
One of
freaking
the
look
wrestlers of
real,
this.
man.
Yeah?
These people look real.
Yeah.
God, look at him right now. Look at him. Oh God, that looks so freaking good. Sheriff freaking Wydell.
Oh, yeah.
You don't mess with him on the same level you don't mess with these people.
Yeah.
They both mean business, man.
Mm.
That's what makes this so freaking great.
Yep.
It's almost like this ongoing chess match back and forth.
Very true.
It's Rob's great way of just really just pulling your loyalties back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's gonna kill me. I love the fact he goes into this whole big spiel about, like, we are not stopping for ice cream. But they
Yeah.
stop for ice cream. Fucking fruity.
This is great.
And then it's ice cream. It's like, oh.
But the best part though, the
Mm.
best part, though is coming up. Just really watch Otis's um, expression when she gets him with the ice cream. It's like he's trying so hard, but you probably see him at his nicest right there.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah, that's all you're gonna get from him. God, this freaking cattle still walking around this place.
Yeah, I love that nobody has, even thought, to like let's go check on the cattle.
So this is oh well, this is the dream sequence, right?
Yeah.
This is really, really, really significant. I'll point it out when it hits. Something William Forsythe said in that interview thing I was watching.
Mhm.
I always forget that he was in Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Mm.
You see this?
Mm.
William said the minute that hat comes off, his character has stepped over the line.
Yeah, I believe that for
Never,
sure.
he'll never go back.
Mhm.
I love that too, man. These bounty hunters, man,
Mhm.
they literally do what they say they're gonna do.
Yeah, yeah, they do.
You know, a lot of movies, man, will walk you so far, and then stupidity or stupid injects itself, and it ends up not being what it you thought it was gonna end up. But these guys, man, they're freaking
Yeah,
hardcore, man. They do their job.
yeah. I mean, there's a movie just with those two characters. I would like to see that movie.
God, this looks so freaking good.
Mm. Hmm.
It's just kind of weird vibe between those two.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like you never really know how much he's sort of falling for it versus setting her up.
Yeah.
Yep. The sheriff what we really wanted is no longer with us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should I start running with it?
Yeah, go for it.
So, watching this the other night, I couldn't help. I couldn't help here in this scene, specifically this scene, start thinking about a certain scene in The Empire Strikes Back. When Han and Leia and Chewie land at Cloud City, the meeting out on the uh, whatever you call it,
Landing pad.
the landing pad there with Lando, and Lando comes out with his little entourage, and it's if you see Sid for Han, and if you see Ken Forey's character as Lando,
Mm-hmm.
you almost have this whole landing platform, Cloud City scene almost
It
perfect.
really is.
It is. It's crazy. It's and I think it I think it really hit me the minute these two embrace, because they embrace. It's almost just like Han and Lando embrace, and
It really is.
and the thing is you know they're his betrayal of them is coming.
Mm-hmm. This is totally like Travis Bickle
Who's that?
from Taxi Driver.
Oh, so you think Rob could take a character like that and really be true to it without the flaws and imperfections?
Yeah.
He could really make it, and he did already with him anyways. I mean, he is about as I mean, cut right out of the Clint Eastwood, John Wayne fabric.
Oh, definitely. I love this scene.
Yeah, I never. This is just the one. I never knew what to do with this one scene.
I just love how much of you know an explanation the guy goes into it. Like but
I thought I wouldn't buy anything from anyone dressed like that.
no. I love this turnaround here. Oh, I go. That one looks. We ain't never buying chicken from you again, boss.
So take analogy a little step further. You got if Waddell is your what do we say? What I say? Vader
I would say Vader, yeah.
talking to Boba Fett,
Yeah,
or not Boba Fett, but I mean Vader talking to Han, working out the deal, or not?
Lando.
Oh yeah, Lando, right? Vader working out the deal with Lando. You got to figure that that's exactly what Lando's reaction must have been when he got told
Yeah,
what he had to do.
I believe it, yeah.
I will park my Star Destroyer right over your little silly operation and blow you out of the freaking sky.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is where I was thinking Vader meeting up with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Your bounty hunters. It's like you're getting all the little exposition you don't get in that movie, but you wish you
Yeah.
did.
And I mean, well, hell, Boba Fett isn't scared of Vader, and neither of these guys are scared of Wydell. But they do realize that, he's kind of the one in charge.
So I don't know whose teeth are worse, that guy or Sid Haig's.
Ooh, I think it'd be kind of hard to push it past Sid.
This looks so freaking great in black and white.
It does. I
Just love
mean,
this guy behind him. He looks. Well, they both do. They both look.
man, think how neat it would have been to see this in black and white on the big screen. If Rob Zombie ever does happen to hear this commentary, that's maybe something you should consider, because, I mean, that would be damn awesome.
Yeah, it would be.
You know, 20 years is coming up. Maybe consider it. Take one for me, too. But I love my cocaine better.
Oh man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Boom. Oh.
It's the fact that they're so willing to take out people that aren't connected to it. You know, they're just kind of there. They're not. They're almost like innocent bystanders. Well, maybe not innocent bystanders, but.
Apparently, that stunt guy, man, literally jumped through that window and landed on that old porch. Any sort of padding.
Man, that takes some dedication right there.
This is insane, man. So here's the dinner table scene. Han and Vader meet. Huh.
Yeah, yeah.
This is great. I love his eyes get big.
Like, oh shit.
That's and this is the frustrating. I mean, if you're still on Wydell's side, this is so frustrating.
Yeah.
All of this could be over right now.
Hmm.
He goes down as a hero, as a legend.
Hmm.
I mean, shoot, after this, he can retire and just enjoy the rest of his life.
Hmm.
But and it's funny too. I was even thinking, Lando will eventually intervene to get them out of there. He'll do his best to show up
Yep.
and get them, but it's Tiny who comes out of nowhere to.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, there was a lot of dialogue happening between him and them in the back there, but for the sake of time, he decided to cut it out.
Ah.
You're going to get more of it here, anyways.
That's true.
This is so freaking good. And you know what makes it so freaking brilliant? Even even though he won't get to see this through to its finality with them, they will be deprived from killing him as well.
Yeah.
So it almost works out perfect.
Mm.
Oh man. Oh boy. Oh, man. It's funny, Rob pointed this out too, how interesting this scene is, because it's established that they've taken one of his, now he has officially taken one of them.
Yeah.
They're sort of just even. Wow. Mm.
Ooh.
I guess for all intents and purposes, he figures he's had his time, and now, as far as he's concerned, they're dead.
Yeah, I think so. But that sure ain't the case.
It's weird though. It's funny because he starts hunting after Baby. It sort of does sort of remind you of her hunting down that girl towards the end of House.
Yeah, for sure. And even bringing up Rabbit.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Doesn't she say that?
Oh yeah, she's like,
Yeah,
"Run, Rabbit, run!" Or
yeah.
actually, it's Otis that's saying that. I think in like a voiceover or something. More.
Actually, some of this too is him doing it.
Yeah,
It's not even the actual cows. It's funny.
yeah. And
Yep.
here's the
Land.
Lando.
Yeah. I guess he said the fire in here was 50-50. 50 real, 50 CGI.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, let's
You
be
wouldn't know.
honest.
You wouldn't know it now, though.
No, no.
Yeah. Lando trying to do his part to
Yeah.
fix
Except it
things.
doesn't end quite as well
Oh,
for him as it did for Lando.
it's almost like Rob sat there and thought, what if Vader would have just killed Lando?
Yeah, very much. That is definitely the case. Got to be a good shot to shoot someone in the leg while they're running.
He's been drinking all night.
Yeah.
Oh, if only he knew.
Oh yeah. Hmm. Nope.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So you almost wonder if they shouldn't have already been dead.
Yeah. I mean, all I can assume is it's a much like uh, the time scale is, how can I put it, like more condensed. So probably everything we just saw probably was happening concurrently, if that makes sense, you know? So they've probably only been in there burning for like a minute or two.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the CG on the fire a little bit.
Yeah.
It is interesting though that for the first time in our journey with these three, this is the first time we've seen them hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, as imperfect and flawed as he was, he did something no one else could do.
Yeah. Very true.
He put a real hurting on them.
Yep.
And it's almost like there's self-reflection. You know, you notice right there. It's just like he's like, it's like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
not they're just gonna just be good people, but
Mm-hmm.
having so much pain inflicted on them for once
Yeah.
probably sobered them up just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that he just walks back in this house, man,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And the fact that they said, like, we'll come back for you. It's like, what? Do they mean they'll come back for his body, or?
Here we go, man.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest freaking endings ever.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man. So many people say this, but I cannot. When I hear this song come on the radio, this is the first image.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, and also the fact that he uses the entire song.
Yeah, and
It's like not many movies. They'll have like a section of the song, but to actually spend the time to go and put in the entire song, because let's be honest, Freebird isn't a short song.
no, what it runs almost 9 minutes, right?
Yeah, and I like this kind of like the almost like flashbacks to like happier times for as happy as psychopaths can be.
It's crazy, man. Most of these images will play through my mind. I'm just in the car driving. I hear the song.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely crazy.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like right here with those lyrics, it's almost like Rob saying, "Well, we've had our stay, we've had our fun.
Yep.
It's time to move on to other things." And yet, we all know we'll get another part.
Yeah. Hmm. When you think of it, I mean, the smart thing would have been at this point to just turn around and go the other way.
Oh, that looks freaking.
Yeah.
I don't know. After everything they've just been through, they probably figure, well, the end of the road has come. So
Well, yeah. Let's like go down in a blaze of glory.
Bonnie and Clyde, man, or
Hmm.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I mean,
Yeah.
God, this looks absolutely amazing.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's it. Yeah, I like how he looks at her like he knows
Hmm.
his daughter's gonna. This is the end for her.
Hmm.
And this is cool. The fact that he passes that gun off to him, Rob's
Yeah.
like it's like he went ahead and just made the conscious choice to to make it official that this was Spalding's family.
Hmm.
Just so much going on in this movie.
Yeah, there is, and I mean, this movie is something special. Let's be honest. I mean, movies like this come along kind of like once or twice in a generation. Hmm.
I'll say this even looks better right here in black and white for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Just so much crap put in after the fact,
Hmm.
and it doesn't. It kind of get washes out a little bit right here.
Yeah, and like I said, let's be honest, they are dead. There is no way they could have survived that.
What did Loomis? What did his Loomis say? He
I
is.
shot him in the heart. I shot him 5 times. Or
Remember what Malcolm said though. DEAD dead. He is
yeah,
dead.
yeah, and it's like, nope. Oh man.
He said this was pretty expensive here. This helicopter footage. So
Yeah, I bet. I mean, nowadays you could just do it with a drone and it costs like nothing. But back then, yeah, it was like a literal helicopter. That's how you got to shoot this. Beautiful, though.
oh yeah. Well, he said that's why he used it for the end credits. He paid too much money for it not to use it.
Yeah, I love
And
that. You see there, Abby, Mary Woronov.
yeah,
I mean, literally, it was a throwaway character, and
look at that stunt coordinator, Kane Hodder.
oh yeah,
When when is it? I forgot to mention it. When there's a scene where he's actually Kane Hodder is as a cop and he's in frame. He's actually has a scene,
oh that's cool.
but it's quick enough that you wouldn't even notice. I know Rob pointed it out in the commentary.
Ah yeah,
Yeah, Kane Hodder, man, making this mark here. That might have been it for the special credits to mention.
yeah. This is just it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's not, a great freaking movie. One that, you don't rush to put in just to put in, but when you do put it in, it
Yeah.
has the same impact.
Oh yeah, and this is one of those movies you put in and you watch all the way through. You don't like fast forward through scenes or anything like you sometimes do when it's a movie you've seen plenty of times. Like no, you sit here and you watch the entire thing.
Yeah, and it's definitely something you don't put on just for background noise.
No, not at all.
Some of the songs I love. Midnight Rider is so perfectly placed.
Hmm.
Fooled Around and Fell in Love, perfectly placed.
Hmm.
Stealing in the Years, Steely Dan. James Gang, I always forget they're in here.
Hmm. Rocky
Joe,
Mountain Way, yeah.
yeah,
Muddy Waters, hell yeah.
yeah, it's Saturday Night Special.
When was that in here?
Can't remember.
I don't know. Freebird, of course.
Have we seen the In Memory?
Yeah, that was the first thing. Oh, I
Yeah,
love that Blue Oyster Cult and Cheap Trick, just because like they were T-shirts or something. So yeah, 2025, maybe a 20th anniversary, maybe a black and white theatrical run, limited edition, limited time. If you're listening to this, Mr. Zombie.
yeah. This was this worked on just about every single level.
Yeah, it was perfect. I love this film. Ah,
That's how many will buy into the Cloud City analogy, but
I honestly, it makes so much sense. I mean, I don't know if it was like an intentional thing, but the parallels are there, and it really is. I like to think it was intentional.
boy, that would be funny.
Yeah.
So, well, if anyone's, well, I'm not sure when you're gonna get this out, but whenever people do listen to this, just know too, if you're actually still listening, um, we will be planning on doing an actual podcast of all three movies.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping to get this edited and out at the same time
That would
as that, so I can cross promote. So
that would be beautiful. And I'm hoping some of our conversation will spill into. That's going to be a fun show. I'm glad.
oh yeah, Will's definitely looking forward to hearing the Empire connections.
I'll have to definitely think those through just a little bit more.
Mm,
But well, it's those accidental things. They just, something pops in your head, and you're just like, huh? And then
yeah,
you
and
start
then
thinking about it, and it's like, huh?
the thing is, once you've seen it, it's like I don't think I'll ever see those scenes the same way again. Now I'll always see the Empire references.
That's funny. Um, I'll say this too. It begs, bringing up Empire. Mention how some of this it's kind of neat because some of this gives you that missing exposition that you might not, you didn't get with Empire. But like, I know that the dinner scene when Han steps when the door opens,
Yep.
and Vader rises up, and you just get like, what, 10, 15 seconds, and then boom, door closed, and you're like, of all the moments in any Star Wars movie, I would have given anything um,
Yeah.
just to be part of that.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
conversation. Maybe it's better it was left off like it was because it keeps you wondering, and with it you don't wonder, but without it you do, and I know that's always been a great mystery. Wondering what how that played it. So I don't know if they ever have you ever read the novelization to Empire? Did they?
Nope, I actually have it now, so I can read it at some point to see if there is anything in there. So,
I do, and I just can't remember. I might have to go in there. So yeah, that show's gonna be a little bit more taxing having to deal with
all three of them, yeah.
the ins and outs of the first one, and just the story of Rob going from the Universal backlot to eventually Lionsgate. But MGM is in there, and
Yeah.
funny stories. I've heard him tell those stories over and over and over. So amazing
Yeah.
writing he's had.
Yeah, definitely.
Lionsgate really, and to think that he's isn't he doing the Munsters for Universal?
I think so, yeah. So that's kind of funny, kind of going full circle.
Yeah, Rob's come. Seems
It,
like the
it,
Munsters are Universal, right?
I think, as far as I know, yeah. Well, I know that the Munster house was always on the Universal backlot.
Okay,
So,
yeah. So yes, he's finally come home, full circle.
yeah. Maybe this time they'll just let him do what he wants to do. Though I kind of doubt it.
It is kind of weird to think that a lot of these characters that we've gotten used to are going to be in there.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Well, any last thoughts?
No, man, I'm good.
I'm good. Masterpiece.
Hells yeah.
With or without color, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I might watch it in black and white from now on because it was really good.
Yeah, I think I may do the same. Initial thoughts on House of a Thousand Corpses in black and white. I'm not sure that would work quite the same.
Yeah, how can I put it? It's like the color in that is kind of important.
Yeah.
You know, it might. You never know. I mean, we haven't done that, have we?
No. Almost seems like Three from Hell would work.
Yeah, I think Three from Hell would definitely work. Just gonna take a look at my files here. I could have swore we did. Uh, Two and dead. No, no. I could have swore that we'd done a commentary on
No,
House of a Thousand Corpses. Oh well.
no. Looking at the letterbox, no. Halloween 2, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So, well, episode 20.
Oh yeah.
I believe we've done 20 of these.
I know. And you know, it's such just a cool thing just to turn off the color and just see the movie in a different light.
Well, once you've done 20, it almost demands we just keep going with it. I mean,
Oh, definitely. And I mean, honestly, the more people that watch stuff in black and white, the happier I'll be. Because then maybe we could get some more, like, actual legit black and white releases. Hell yeah.
well, yeah, this is fun.
Hell yeah. So, yeah, I guess we'll sign off now. So, yeah, that was our episode 20. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed it. We'll no doubt be back again with another one at some point. And look for the podcast. You got anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I'll stop the recording now.